Hello, everyone. Let's get the game pulled up here. All right. So we're doing the Testament of Sherlock Holmes. I did put the disclaimer up. I do believe that it's not an M-rated game, but this game does deal with some difficult stuff. So to be safe, I added the disclaimer. So I am going to be using a walkthrough though. Okay. We're going to do a new game. Okay.
Yeehaw! Ow. La la la. Ow! Ah! What's this? No. Ba ba. Boop boop. La la la.
The marionette of Dr. James Watson.
Ooh. Oh, look! It's a book! Maybe it's a book about pirates with a treasure map. No, I don't think so. I wish that I had seen through all your lies. Oh, start from the beginning, not the middle. And so I decided to pick up my pen to relate the most disturbing episode of my life thus far.
It all began early one morning in 1898, when Sherlock Holmes invited me to accompany him on a visit to the Marquis of Conyngham.
Watson, my dear fellow, we can now go and inform the Marquis that we have found the Samoan necklace, and very much faster than Inspector Baines, too, which pleases me.
Have you really solved the theft, Holmes? And so quickly?
I have indeed, Watson, and believe me, it was completely unnecessary to spread out all over London, as our friend Baines thought was best. He likes to boast that his methods are equal to mine, but once again the outcome has contradicted him.
After all these years of accompanying you upon your investigations, I thought that by now I should be reasonably capable of following your train of thought. But in this particular case, I must admit that I don't understand anything at all.
Ah, you see, but you do not observe, Watson. There lies the difference. It is a matter of course.
A matter of course? In the middle of the night, when everyone is fast asleep, the service bell within that room rings out and alerts the servants. They dress quickly and come running, but the door is locked and there is a strong smell of burning from within. A few seconds later, the master of the house himself, the robbed Marchioness's husband, the Marquis of Conyngham, arrives and unlocks the door using the sole key. A fire has started inside the room, but they have managed to arrive in time to put it out. It is at that moment that the Marquis realizes that the famous Samoan necklace, which had been safe within its glass cabinet only a few hours earlier, has now disappeared.
In order to explain, let us confirm my theory before the arrival of Inspector Baines.
Okay. I am using a controller, so...
This window was cut with a diamond, a clean, discreet piece of work. This is where the necklace was.
See how tiny the hole is, and not one fingerprint upon the window.
After a clue is examined, the icon will turn green. Okay.
All the windows are locked. They've not been forced. A mark, undoubtedly made by a diamond. Someone tried to cut the glass, but he was interrupted.
Therefore, the thief tried to escape through the window, but he was interrupted.
Thank you, Koo. Examine, activate any of your 4 items in the inventory by pressing Y. All right.
Let us examine the crumpled scores that have fallen off the piano. These sooty prints were left by a tiny hand.
I don't understand why these music scores are covered with soot.
I can change the camera view by pressing X. I kind of like the first person view, to be honest. Yeah, I don't need that. Because when am I ever going to need that?
A candle. It must have fallen from the chandelier. Not very well kept, this aquarium. I can see a dead fish floating on the surface. These documents are not very interesting, even though they're addressed to the Minister of Maritime Affairs.
The Marquis himself. This draft screen makes an ideal hiding place.
As the theft was committed at night, I conclude that the thief hid himself behind the draft screen and waited until he was alone in the room. Strange, there aren't any prints, yet I'm sure that the thief hid here. Heading towards his chosen escape route, probably the window, the thief knocked over the stool, which then caught fire.
But why didn't he try to put the fire out at once?
Strange. There are some objects here that have been knocked over.
Footprints. You are not going to get on your knees to examine them.
There is no need. It is soot. The servants must have trodden in it while they were putting out the fire.
Okay.
The fire started here, just beneath the bell pull.
Whoever pulled the cord would have had his feet in the fire, unless it was pulled before the fire started.
It may have been pulled before the fire had started.
What do you think, Holmes?
Let us search the room before the police get here. We might throw some light onto all this.
When the servants arrived at the door, having been alerted by the bell, they saw evidence of the theft and the fire, but they didn't see the thief.
This door is very hard to force. The Marquis is the only person to have the key. The thief could not get out through here until eventually, when the door was opened by the servants.
Ah, Mr. Holmes, you're already here.
Good morning, Inspector. You've arrived just in time.
Scotland Yard arrives like the cavalry, always in the nick of time. Ah, but I know that satisfied expression, Mr. Holmes. Have you already solved the case?
It's possible.
We have retraced the thief's rather unusual footsteps. He is a true acrobat. But what I cannot understand is that when the servants entered the room, there was no one to be seen. An acrobat, perhaps, but an invisible one? I do not think so.
The only explanation is that the thief escaped before the servants arrived. I don't know how, but there is no other way.
Half a point for the doctor, nil for the inspector.
I am pleased to see that you find the situation amusing, Mr. Holmes. Very well then, explain.
Dr. Watson was correct when he mentioned acrobatics, but he is mistaken about the nature of the acrobat. As for you, Baines, you're quite incorrect, as the thief was in the room when the servants entered.
Explain, for heaven's sake, Mr. Holmes.
Watson, how could a thief be missed in the middle of 8 men?
I don't know. Because he is very small? Stop teasing us, Holmes.
Exactly, because he is small and remarkably agile.
You're thinking of a monkey?
And a trained monkey at that, without a doubt, a Leontopithecus rosalia from Central America. The animal had been hidden inside the room for several hours, calmly awaiting the signal from his master. Once night had fallen and the room was empty, a high-frequency whistle alerted the monkey that it was time to begin the procedure for which he had been trained. The monkey emerged from his hiding place and used the point of a diamond to open the glass cabinet and steal the necklace. He headed across to the window by the chimney, but knocked over the stool, which in turn knocked aside the fire guard and started the fire. The frightened monkey jumped from the chimney by swinging from the bell pull, thus alerting the house servants. He then went to the window and began to use his diamond to cut a hole, but was interrupted by the staff trying to gain entry via the door, and he panicked again. He ran across the piano, scattering the music scores
promotion
onto
on the
floor
app for
before hiding
$1.25, so I
inside the
got that.
chandelier, knocking over a candle. Finally, the servants and the Marquis entered the room, leaving the door open while they put out the fire. It was during the confusion that our agile little thief made his escape through the doorway. As simple as that.
A brilliant explanation. Bravo, Holmes.
And the necklace?
I can see it from here, my friends. It's right in front of us.
We have searched the room from top to bottom, Holmes. How
We're
were
going
we
to
unable
be
to find
spinning
it?
them, boiling
Because
them,
we paid insufficient
adding some
attention
milk
to
and
the
mashing
only
them.
victim of this affair.
What victim? No one is dead?
Yes, Watson, a poor goldfish whose destiny was to die, crushed by one of the most precious necklaces in England.
The aquarium is just beneath the chandelier. I understand.
The little monkey had likely hung the necklace around its neck and lost it when he leapt from the chandelier. The jewels fell into the aquarium, where they remain now.
Okay.
Marquis, here is your necklace, intact, just a little wet.
Mr. Holmes, this brilliant demonstration does credit to your reputation.
Thank you so much, Marquis. Do you wish to verify the authenticity of your jewel?
No, I recognize it. I have spent many hours admiring it, you know.
Good. I will return it to its box and...
Inspector, a bank has just been held up. You must follow me at once. Orders of Scotland Yard.
What times?
Sirs, duty calls. My regards, Marquis. And well done again, Mr. Holmes.
There, the necklace is in its box. We've lost enough time here. Let's go home, Watson.
Ah, very well, as you wish. A good day to you, Marquis.
With pleasure, gentlemen. And once again, thank you.
Okay. So that necklace shows up again.
This morning's newspaper. Holmes, have you read this article about you?
No, Watson, not yet, and I won't have time to.
Read it before you leave. It's outrageous.
If you insist.
Globe Explorer, Sherlock Holmes at the home of the Marquis of Cunningham. The investigation is a fiasco. Yesterday, the celebrated Detective Sherlock Holmes was invited to the manor of the Marquis of Cunningham to supply his conclusions following his investigation into the disappearance of the priceless Samoan necklace. It should be recalled that the lady called in the detective after the police appeared flummoxed in the face of the astonishing circumstances surrounding the theft. Indeed, the valuable piece of jewelry disappeared while the door to the room in which it was displayed was locked. The alarm was raised by the servants, alerted by the room's servant's bell ringing out during the night. When the Marquis, the only person in possession of the key, opened the door, everyone rushed in to extinguish a fire that had started before it was noticed that the necklace had mysteriously vanished. The most astonishing factor is that no thief was found within the room, and all the exits were closed. As usual, Mr. Holmes resolved the case in the twinkling of an eye, and the jewel was recovered. I will not waste my time on the various explanations as to the disappearance because I would prefer to draw your attention, dear readers, to the last surprising developments in the case. Following the departure of Sherlock Holmes, who placed the necklace in the safe himself, the Marquis noticed that the jewel was nothing but a poor copy of the original. Let it not be forgotten that the Samoan necklace, although plain and without ornament, is unique because the rarity of its pearls which are found only in a small part of the lagoon of the archipelago of the same name, and to which scientists attribute their exceptional quality to the strong density of crystal of argonite that they are made of. The priceless necklace, brought here at the beginning of the century by Lord Fenton Arwyck, the Marquis' grandfather and an eminent explorer, should have been part of her daughter's dowry for her marriage to the Duke of Newcastle. So I am going to place a simple question. Did we not, in all open-mindedness, ask ourselves if the necklace was not simply and deliberately exchanged for a fake by Mr. Holmes himself? I am aware, dear readers, that the brutality of this question, without any preconceptions, may certainly shock some of you, but the facts are there, and our thoughts or judgment should not be confused with the regard which we will share for the famous detective. It is not the first time the Globe Explorer has expressed the reservations as to Sherlock Holmes' methods. Do not forget our counter-investigation into the escape of Arsène Lupin, the Frenchman who took malign pleasure in tarnishing the image of our royal family and who, by lucky chance, managed to elude capture by Mr. Holmes. At the time, we did not hesitate to consider a tacit complicity on the part of the latter. For those who are familiar with Mr. Holmes, it is quite apparent that his character traits show more of the opportunist and brilliant usurper than that of altruistic defender of the law. I would draw the attention of our readers to the suggestion that the description of this gentleman provided by his friend, Dr. John Watson, through his stories, is a long way from the truth. Indeed, his behavior is derisive, contemptuous, haughty, and offensive towards the police, and in particular towards Inspector Baines, replacing Inspector Lestrade, who is currently convalescent and a habitual abuser of narcotics, such as heroin and cocaine. This is why, dear readers, it is important to disregard Sherlock Holmes' good reputation in order to form an objective opinion and to ask the pertinent question. Was the necklace that Holmes found already a fake? If that was the case, why did he not mention it? And why should he insist on placing it back within the safe himself? Has the detective some unsavory interest in the affair? Or is it a simple case of deceit in order to steal the extraordinary Samoan necklace? It is up to you, dear readers, to form your own opinions, but you can count upon your humble servant to continue revealing to the public the doubtful methods and motivations of one who, in the future, I shall not hesitate to call Sherlock Holmes the usurper. To be continued, O'Farley. The ancestry of Prince Woodville recognized. The Lords Committee, set up in order to verify Prince Woodville's legitimacy, made its conclusions public last night. Without surprise, the prince's title was confirmed, as rumors suggested in return of an unfavorable opinion by the committee. The prince would have abandoned any claim to the inheritance of the present royal family as well as any political activity. The young man, now aged 28, read history and law at Oxford. With a diploma in philosophy, he spent most of his childhood in France, where he acquired a considerable knowledge of the culinary arts. For those who might think this is a handicap when integrating into British high society, let me remind you that he is also outstanding on the polo field and plays the bagpipes quite beautifully. Finally, we should add that lately he has become actively involved in charity work and aiding the poor. J.B. Good.
Prince Woodville, French culinary expert and bagpipe player, might be our next king. But that's not so shocking, my dear fellow.
You know exactly to which article I'm referring, Holmes. How can Farley dare to tarnish your reputation like that?
You know, Watson, that wherever glory walks, jealousy is bound to follow. As for the forgery of the necklace, I suspect that we shall soon be enlightened in this regard. Come in, Inspector Baines, the door's open.
Ah, Mr. Holmes. How did you know I was here?
You are one of our rare visitors who avoids the second-to-last step of the stairs, which creaks dreadfully. And if I add the clinking of the handcuffs at your belt, to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit, Inspector?
Have you read that rag?
Inspector, can you explain this slander? Has the necklace of the Samoas really been replaced by a fake?
I don't know how the reporter got hold of the information, but it's true. About the necklace, of course. I wouldn't permit myself to question the integrity and honesty of Mr. Holmes.
The necklace is a forgery? Impossible! I saw the Marquis authenticated before my very eyes, before Holmes returned it to its place.
Mr. Holmes, the Marquis believes Osmond Farley's theory. I shouldn't be surprised if the reporter isn't behind all this slander about you. He's a freelancer, well known for his explosive and subjective articles. In any case, the Marquis assures us that you were the last person to have the necklace in your hands.
Let's return to the Marquis's house, Holmes. I'm sure that we'll have no trouble in taking apart this theory.
It is unnecessary. Such allegations collapse on their own, like one of Mrs. Hudson's soufflés. Let us leave the police to solve this problem and turn our attention to the matters in hand.
Perhaps you are right, Holmes.
Inspector, I assume that you have the fake necklace with you. It's why you're here. Your superiors would like me to examine it.
Indeed. They would like you to confirm or deny putting this fake in the box.
Can't that wait? I must go to the house of Lord Peregrine Maitland, the Bishop of Knightsbridge. And the Marchioness?
She is beside herself. Without the necklace, her marriage is compromised. It is the principal item of the young woman's dowry.
What a lovely marriage. Holmes, forgive me for insisting, but don't you want to examine the fake jewelry?
Watson, I have an appointment, and it's out of the question that I arrive late.
It will only take you a couple of minutes. You really must quell the suspicions put forward in this appalling article. If you will allow me, Inspector?
Be my guest.
Very well.
What do you think, Holmes?
These 3 pearls are of poor quality.
Yeah. And this one down here.
This pearl is a different color. This pearl is too small. It is not in its place here. Too many defects. This necklace is a fake. This is nothing but a vulgar copy, and at a glance it would appear that the forger has intended for it to be seen as such.
How could we have been fooled by such a blatant imitation? I don't understand.
Yes, how is it possible? Holmes, do you have a theory about this?
I have absolutely no idea. You insisted that I examine the necklace, and I have done so. Now it is important that I keep my appointment. I'm sure, Inspector, that you will throw some light on this affair.
Holmes.
You may accompany me, Watson, if you care to do so.
Goodbye, gentlemen. I'll keep you informed as to my inquiries.
Goodbye, Inspector. You mentioned a bishop, didn't you? Are we going to his home?
Yes, the Bishop of Knightsbridge. I put his address on our map of London on my desk. Would you get it for me, please?
All right, Holmes. The work table, where Holmes analyzes things. Holmes's homemade analyzer.
Yeah, so all right. I am using a walkthrough for this because some of these puzzles are like
I have
so
found
difficult.
your map.
Find the address of the Bishop of Knightsbridge on the map, and let's go.
The police? Already? How did you know?
May we see the Bishop of Knightsbridge?
Yes. Yes, of course. But come in.
What has happened, Reverend?
What?
I don't know. It was last night, I think. I only just arrived, and I have made this macabre discovery. My God. How horrible. I haven't called anyone. How did you know that?
Holmes, look!
The Bishop, appallingly mutilated.
How dreadful.
Mutilated. And killed. He was such a good man. How could anyone be so brutal? Look at him. He is barely recognizable now. How could any of God's children be responsible for that?
They were evidently unworthy children, Reverend. Now do please try to calm yourself and focus, because we will need your assistance. Do you have any idea as to the motive behind this?
I haven't had time to do an inventory, but nothing appears to have been stolen. And anyway, His Excellency didn't own anything of great value. I don't know what else I can tell you.
Note this down, please, Doctor.
Doctor? But you aren't the police?
No, Reverend. I am Sherlock Holmes, and this is Dr. Watson. We are here at the request of the Bishop.
In that case, I must ask you to leave, and not to touch anything. I must get in touch with the authorities without further delay.
Reverend, when the inspectors of Scotland Yard find themselves at a dead end, which they quite often do, I assure you, then they turn to me for help. If you will allow us to continue our investigation, then you shall have the answers to all of your questions.
Out of the question! I don't even know you! I'm going to call the police, whether you like it or not.
It would be better for everyone, Reverend, if you kept your temper. Watson, are you taking notes? This affair promises to be a complex one, therefore we must not overlook the slightest detail.
Yes, Holmes. I am keeping a meticulous set of notes. I have created a very clever deduction board. One thing we can be sure of at the moment is that this crime was not for gain. The Reverend has informed us that nothing valuable was stolen, and indeed, it would seem that the Bishop had nothing of any worth to take.
Very good, Watson. Do continue.
Okay. All right, so wealth. The bishop didn't own anything of value, not even in his safe. Okay. So that's one thing we learned.
A broken phial and blood near the neck.
What a strange smell. Phew. Chemical components, I think.
There is blood on this paperweight.
Good.
A bottle of whiskey. I can make out fingerprints stained with blood and dirt.
A broken bottle of whiskey. However, the Bishop of Knightsbridge was known for his sobriety. It would seem that the brutes who tortured the bishop to death were intoxicated with alcohol.
Seems to be the case. All right, let's examine the body.
The fingers have been crushed and violently struck. The fingers have been crushed and violently struck.
His stomach is covered in scratches. Quite evidently, they weren't made recently.
So, these wounds were not made by his murderers.
Okay.
You can see by his expression that he suffered terribly.
His mouth is covered in blood, and I can make out strips of skin between his teeth.
His chest has been lacerated, I would say, with a very sharp and fine blade.
Wonder what that blade is.
His feet have been burned.
My first impression is that he wears a size 9 shoe.
You? But what does it matter, Holmes?
I think it does matter.
These burns are terrible. A finger. Apparently it doesn't belong to the Bishop of Knightsbridge.
How dreadful.
I missed something?
His forearms have been ripped. Pieces of skin have been torn off. What do you think, Watson?
I'd say that he was eaten alive. Yet I've noticed a curious degeneration of the skin tissue around the wounds.
My dear friend, everything points to this man having gnawed at his own forearms.
That's unbelievable, Holmes.
Did I not get anything? Must be the rope.
This poor man was tied just below the knees.
To stop him from walking, certainly, but mostly to free his feet.
My God, Holmes, this man was horribly tortured.
Apparently, still down here still. That. Must have gotten everything here. Body's not turning. Going to.
His forearms have been ripped.
This poor man was tied just
To stop him from walking, certainly, but mostly...
His feet have...
My first...
You! This poor man...
To stop him from walking, certainly, but mostly to free his feet.
This poor man...
To stop...
Okay, there's a rope. That. Yeah, I don't have the piece of rope.
A piece of rope that was used to tie up that poor man.
We're green now.
Something is missing here.
Oh, yes? And what might that be?
His shoes. Watson, his shoes are missing. This stove is filled to overflowing. The picture of Peregrine Maitland, commander of the infantry brigade of Her Majesty's Guards at Waterloo.
The Bishop of Knightsbridge has the same name as his ancestor, an illustrious family.
Impossible to open it. Impossible to open it. Reverend, I'm missing something, an implement with which to open this chest. Could you tell me where to find it?
No, go to the devil.
What are you afraid of, Reverend? What is inside the chest?
I'm not afraid of anything. In fact, I do have the necessary implements, but if I have to give them to anyone, it will be to a representative of the law and no one else.
A whip?
No, it is a discipline for self-flagellation. It's a cilice designed to bruise the person wearing it. The bishop wore it as repentance. This very pious man must have had the habit of mortifying his flesh as a means of repentance. This metal rod is for fastening the chalice.
surgical scalpel covered in blood. There isn't any doubt the wounds on the bishop were administered with this scalpel.
Closed. The veranda door hasn't been forced. Strange. Reverend, might I have the key?
No! You have no authority here. Let me call the police.
Perhaps we should listen to him, Holmes.
Perhaps you should let me get on with this, Watson.
What should we do next, Holmes?
Okay, so all right, so black. The bishop's shoes are missing. Veranda. The veranda wasn't searched. The murderers are looking for something specific. The murderers got the wrong person. The bishop took the murderers by surprise. Murderers were unable to open the safe. The victim was savagely tortured. Penitent. The bishop was mortifying himself. He was used to pain. The bishop resisted torture. The bishop punished himself too severely. The bishop couldn't stand being tortured. Bishop gnawed at himself. Flask. The broken flask has some blood at its tip. The murderers made the bishop drink blood. The murderers made the bishop drink the contents of the flask. The murderers tortured the bishop with a broken glass.
You have no right to search here.
Alright,
Watch where you're putting your feet, Watson. Have you noticed these prints upon the ground?
Well, yes, those muddy marks.
See here, Watson. Footprints can often provide more vital information than the very best of informants.
Yes, if you know how to make them talk, that is.
It's child's play, Watson. We will begin by excluding the contaminating prints, which are yours and mine from where we came in, and those of our dear Reverend who was so impatient to call the police. This print came from an expensive pair of shoes, and it seems recent. It is not a laborer's shoe. Hobnail boots like those worn by laborers. Hobnail boots like those worn by laborers. Hobnail boots like those worn by laborers. A fragment of stone. Peculiar. Size 9. Size 9. Size 9. Size 9.5. Size 9. Size 9.5.
Interesting. How many criminals were there? There would have to be 3, wouldn't there?
Perfect. We now know that there were 3 crooks.
What do the footprints reveal? One man joined those who were already in the room. One man left the room wearing different shoes. One man was carried so as not to leave footprints. All men left the room jumping on one leg.
Strange but true. One of the crooks was wearing a different pair of shoes when he left here. Therefore, we have 3 men who came in and left again, but one of them was wearing a different pair of shoes from the ones which he came in with.
So, all we have to do is look for a workman who likes Italian shoes.
This door has not been forced. Where does it lead, Reverend?
To His Excellency's room. There is just a mattress and a stool.
The bishop's bedroom. It is very austere. Nothing in particular here.
Okay. The deduction. One of the murderers left in different shoes. So if the bishop's shoes are missing and one of the murderers left in different shoes, is it one of the murderers is a member of the clergy, or one of the murderers left wearing the bishop's shoes, or the murderers threw the bishop's shoes away? Would have had to have left wearing the bishop's shoes, right? Okay. One of the murderers sells shoes. The murderers are poor. One of the murderers came back for his shoes. Would have thought one of those would have turned green. The bishop didn't own anything of value, not even his safe. The veranda wasn't searched. Murderers are looking for something specific. Murderers got the wrong person. The bishop took the murderers by surprise. Oh. The bishop murders were hired by someone. The murderers searched for the bishop's shoes. The murderers wanted to steal from the bishop. Okay. Okay, so those are the ones. One of the murderers left wearing the bishop's shoes. The murderers are poor. The bishop's murderers are hired by someone. So murderers are looking for something specific. Okay. The victim was savagely tortured. The bishop was mortifying himself. He was used to pain. He resisted torture. The murderers were unable to open the safe. First one. They didn't get what they wanted.
Perfect. It is evident that the Bishop of Knightsbridge's killers were after something specific, and that they did not find it. Reverend, I shall ask you one more time. Open the chest. The item they were seeking must still be inside. It is unlikely that they will let this matter rest. They will most certainly return to finish what they started.
And I'm telling you once more, the chest is locked and shall remain so.
Very well. We have reached an impasse. You are a stubborn man, Reverend. Watson, accompany our friend to the police station and return with Inspector Baines. Baines and no one else. I shall wait for you here. Go. Alone at last. Now I can continue my investigation.
All right.
I need something. This lock should be easy to pick. Let's see. There we are. It is simplicity itself. There isn't anything much in this room. It must be used as a reading or meditation room.
Okay.
An ink stain, quite fresh. This stain is just on the edge of the rug. Let's see. There is nothing on the floor, yet the ink must have soaked through the rug. This inkwell was tipped over recently. An ink stain. The ink stain on the floor comes from the ink on the rug, but they are not in the same place. Someone has moved the rug recently. Apparently, someone wanted to hide this statue. This horse resembles a large chess piece. There is a message underneath this statue. Let's see.
Well, a lack of imagination. Use your passion for chess. The last square on which the knight will place himself after having covered all the others will be the right one. I love you.
This message was written by a woman, but for whom was it intended? Interesting, this chess game.
Okay.
That is curious. There is something strange on the floor. Certain stones have been marked out, just like a chessboard. That is curious. There is something strange on the floor. Certain stones have been marked out, just like a chessboard. I need something.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, this puzzle drove me nuts when I was testing the game out. Have to be 9, 20, so 3, 4, and 25.
This last piece should be the good one. It will have to be pulled free. I need something.
April 24th. My love, what a beautiful spring, and what a marvelous day, our dear youngest child's birthday. Every moment is so precious as our child blossoms, and without a doubt, he will soon be talking. I am sure that his first words will be for you. He misses you so much, as do I. Are you sure you cannot get away on Sunday after Vespers? I thought that 14th of September, my darling. I know that you think I am insistent, but we absolutely must legitimize our union. We cannot live in sin all our lives. 3rd March. Rest assured, my dear, that I understand your position is not easy, but have you thought about ours, the children's and mine? And I cannot allow our children's future to be compromised. Think about it, my love. What is this so-called scandal next to the well-being of your family? We must become husband and wife legally to finally form a real fam.
A packet of letters addressed to the Reverend. They were written by a woman who mentions his illegitimate children. Their affair isn't official. Perfect. I have you now, my wayward Reverend.
Okay.
Ah, Watson, you were gone a terribly long time, and Inspector Baines isn't with you?
I'm afraid not, Holmes. We were unable to find him.
Dr. Watson would not allow me to contact any inspector other than this Baines. What manners! I am a man of the church.
My dear Reverend, I notice that you are a chess lover. I trust you will excuse me, but I am never able to resist the appeal of a half-finished game.
You are an expert at chess. Very well, then. What do you want now?
As you might have guessed, resolving your small chess problem has allowed me to discover some very interesting letters.
Letters? What do they say?
Reverend, why hide these letters here and run the risk of the bishop finding them?
Holmes, what's in the letters?
Not now, Watson.
Where else could I have hidden them? My own chambers are too austere. They could offer no cover. I knew, however, that His Excellency, may he rest in peace, would not notice my game.
The contents of the Bishop of Knightsbridge's chest interest me greatly. Give me the elements you hold, Reverend.
Out of the question.
With the bishop no more, you are therefore the apostolic director of the diocese, are you not?
Well, yes, but only until someone else is appointed.
I am certain that the Honourable Bishop of York, whom I have the privilege of knowing well enough for him to listen to what I have to say, would recognize your qualities for the post.
If I receive new responsibilities, it will be through my faith and devotion, nothing else.
I am a gentleman, and it would distress me to be obliged to pass this correspondence across to your superiors.
Holmes, I know that the end justifies the means, but allow me to express some reservations about how you are proceeding.
You say you're a gentleman, but I hear nothing but the words of a blackmailer. The stems that you are looking for are scattered about this room. Manage by yourself.
Okay. I have enough. Do not.
You have won.
Evidently, as I always do. What are you able to tell us about the Bishop of Knightsbridge's last days? Did anyone come to visit him? Did he seem worried, anxious? Do not omit the smallest detail.
His nephew came to see him yesterday at His Excellency's request. I found this visit a little peculiar because the young man rarely visits his uncle.
Do you know why that might be? Were they on bad terms?
I don't think so. It's rather a consequence of his work. The young man is employed within the archive section of the Royal Library, which doesn't leave him with a lot of free time.
Do you know the reason for his summons?
No, but the conversation was very heated. It only lasted for a few minutes and ended with the nephew in a terrible rage.
Interesting.
I've answered your questions. Will you now let me contact the authorities?
I'm afraid not, Reverend. Not just yet. All right, now we can open the safe. Now I can open the chest. Here we are. I am eager to discover what remarkable treasure could justify such an act of barbarity.
Extraordinary.
This chest is impenetrable. How is it possible? No one other than the bishop should be able to open it.
You open the chest with disconcerting ease, Holmes.
I've seen and heard quite enough. This time you won't stop me.
Catch him, Watson.
What the?
But why?
Run, Watson. Hurry.
He's escaped. I hope that your motivations are founded, Holmes. I don't much like skirting around the edges of the law like this.
It is annoying. Let's leave without delay.
What have you found in the chest, Holmes? What in there is so precious for these men to commit such terrible acts?
The Reverend was telling the truth. Nothing important was locked inside the chest, apart from a few religious items which are hardly worth stealing.
So, we haven't made any headway. Perhaps the police will.
By the time the police arrive, we shall be a long way from here, Watson. We are leaving.
Okay.
We have crossed London at a breakneck speed. We could have knocked someone over, and naturally I had to pay the cabbie out of my own pocket.
Watson, stop complaining. We have to analyze the clues found at the bishop's house.
Okay.
This fragment of stone is very smooth, and it seems to be of a peculiar quality. I shall have to strip it with one of my products. This stone is granite, covered in black paint.
Okay. Grab the finger.
Black and damp earth under the nail. Interesting. Fragments of skin. A phalanx. This finger wasn't cut off. It was ripped off. Tooth marks, rather deep ones. I'd say of incisors and a canine.
Bite marks on this severed finger. I am afraid of the significance.
The thieves didn't get what they wanted. When they were faced with the bishop's refusal to cooperate, one of the gang shook his finger at him to indicate that he was responsible for his unfortunate state.
And the poor man, whose head was the only part of him not bound by ropes, bit the finger violently enough to sever it. An uncommonly savage act.
Watson, I am certain that when we have explained the reasons behind this sudden bestiality, we will have revealed a larger part of the mystery. There is something written on this scalpel. I can't do that. Ah, I can make out WCCH. What do the initials stand for? How many hospitals are there in the Whitechapel area, Watson?
If we count public dispensaries, enough to keep us busy for an entire month. Did this scalpel come from a hospital?
Yes, as the initials WCCH engraved upon it show us. We must think on how best to deal with this. We do not have the time to investigate every hospital in Whitechapel. I have cut a small piece off the rope. That should be enough. A lot of fragments of black stone are wedged into this rope. Their color seems unnatural, but they are too small for me to examine them. These small stones resemble the pieces found in the footprints at the bishop's house. Granite, painted black. Black and damp earth. I must compare the samples of earth that I found. This rope is only worn on one side. I must compare the samples of earth that I found. And if I mixed this earth with another substance, now it must all be stirred. I can't do that. The samples of earth taken from beneath the fingernail and from the ropes originate from the same place.
How do you know?
It took just a little water to analyze the consistency. The soil has retained its moisture, even though there hasn't been rain in London for over a week.
This soil could come from the bank of a river, or somewhere where the evaporation is slower. A mine, perhaps, or a trench.
The banks of the Thames are clay soil, unlike our samples, so we can rule that out. The nearest mines are 12 miles away, so I would rule that out also. I would therefore conclude your last theory to be nearer the mark.
A trench?
A pit. Watson, bring me your register of the London hospitals.
Studying the scalpel has given you an idea, then?
Indeed.
I'll get it. Female anatomy. I should put this book somewhere else. Hospitals and dispensaries in London. I have found my book, Holmes.
Good. Put it on the work table, will you?
I have found my book, Holmes.
Good. Put it on the work table, will you?
Here is the section showing Whitechapel. I made several notations on these pages during our investigation into the Ripper, which might prove useful. All we need to do is to find a hospital or a public dispensary near a location where pits have been dug and black granite has been used.
It's simplicity itself. I haven't finished my analysis.
So we're going to go to the board. Okay. So Bishop nodded himself. Finger. The bishop tore his aggressor's finger off with his teeth. The bishop wanted to kill himself. The bishop fought his aggressor savagely. The bishop went mad. Blood on his hip. Murderers made the bishop drink blood. The murderers made the bishop drink contents of the flask. Murderers tortured the bishop with the broken glass. Okay. The rope is worn only on one side. The rope was manufactured with a worn side. The rope was always used from the same side. The rope was used near water and has rotted. The damp earth brought in by the Bishop of Knightsbridge pillars. Soils from a pit. Learned that. A fragment of granite painted black. Fragment comes from a monument painted black. That's what I'm going to go with. Rope used for tying up boats. The rope is used in a well. Something into a pit. The earth and fragment and granite come from a building. Okay. The earth, the rope, and the fragment of granite come from a grave. The Whitechapel Clinic. Whitechapel Clinic and near a tombstone factory.
Now I can make the right decision. I haven't finished my analysis.
Okay.
I need something.
That one.
The public dispensary number 4661. It's just opposite the Whitechapel Street Cemetery.
Yes, Watson. The murderer with the missing finger must work in the cemetery, or at least visit it. He could have taken a rope, one of the type they use to lower the coffins into the graves. The granite is minute particles of tombstone.
And he only had to cross the road to steal a scalpel from the dispensary opposite.
I need something.
Okay. So we're going to start with that's not what I want. Two and three. Two and one. 3 and 3.
Poison, and apparently very virulent.
Results of the analysis of the poison administered to the Bishop of Knightsbridge. A substance that provokes a heightened aggression close to madness. Death by cardiac arrest. Okay.
Poison. Discreet, efficient, and only detectable via a thorough post-mortem.
Have you been able to isolate the active components, Holmes?
Not with any certainty. This toxic substance surpasses my own knowledge in the field. It is without doubt the work of an expert chemist.
A chemist and a criminal.
As you say, please find my monograph on poisoners of the last 30 years.
Source, Scotland Yard. Hans Skillman, aka Rat Killer. Nationality German. Date and place of birth 2001 1839 in Stuttgart. Arrested 05/05/1888 in London, where imprisoned London, sentenced life. Found guilty of the following charges: poisoning, attempted poisoning, theft, and receiving chemical substance, murder, and attempted murder, kidnapping with aggravated circumstances, cruelty to animals, hit and run, illegal use of chemicals, manipulation of the weak, drunk in charge. History and description of the individual. Despite numerous mental problems and neurosis, Hans Skillman is an exceptional chemist and an equally remarkable mathematician. At the age of 21, his unstable and violent character resulted in his expulsion from the University of Vienna, where he had excelled in his chosen subject. After being expelled, he was not heard of again for 4 years. He was captured and arrested in June 1864 during the case NX 2552A, the Stuttgart poisoning, in which he was the principal suspect. He escaped before being sentenced and vanished again. A number of elements suggested that he had found refuge in London. An investigation undertaken by Scotland Yard found him living under the stolen identity of one Leonardo. However, the officers who came to arrest him were poisoned and he escaped once again. Our informers picked up his trail again in 1880 at an ancient factory converted into a clandestine chemical laboratory. Skillman was absent during the search. From the documents found inside the laboratory, we learned he had a diabolical plan in mind. His goal was to poison the drinking water reservoirs in several parts of the city. To this day, his motives remain unclear. His arrest on 05/05/1888 was due entirely to chance. He was recognized by a police officer while stumbling around in a state of inebriation, shouting of his intention to poison the entire city. None of the interrogations followed his arrest that provided any conclusive information. Hans Skillman broke his silence only with incoherent comments. Okay.
According to these documents, Hans Schielmann, known as the Rat Killer, was considered the greatest specialist in chemical poison in the world.
Is he at liberty?
Happily, no. He has been held in the high-security wing of London's Westgate prison for many years now.
Then he cannot be the one who concocted the poison.
Don't dismiss him too quickly, Watson. According to Scotland Yard, the man is exceptionally intelligent. For the greatest criminals, prison is but a mere obstacle. Let's plan a little visit to see Mr. Sheilman tomorrow.
The flask contains poison that causes madness. Or should I poison that causes madness?
Perfect. Well done, Watson. Our board is finished. It confirms that the bishop's murderers work for one person, who, amongst other things, possesses a very sophisticated poison. They therefore act for someone more educated than themselves. You remember Wiggins and his gang, the Baker Street Irregulars?
Yes, the street urchins, whom you employ upon occasion, and Wiggins is their leader.
Yes. Well, I have hired their services again. I have instructed them to find out the address of the bishop's nephew.
I think he's here.
Hello, Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, my young friend, have you found the information for which the good Dr. Watson is going to pay you?
Yes, Mr. Holmes, it was easy.
Very well, I understand. Here are a few pennies.
Thanks, Dr. Watson. The man you're looking for lives near Kensington.
Does he live alone?
Yes, but he rents a room for an old lady.
Did she see you?
No, Mr. Holmes. No one saw me.
Perfect. Watson, give our young friend another shilling as a reward for his discretion.
Here we go again. But of course...
I'm falling asleep, Holmes. Aren't you tired?
No, I have an exceptional constitution. I can't remember ever having been fatigued by work. Idleness, on the other hand, exhausts me completely. Go to bed, Watson. The night will be short. We leave at dawn.
Wow, this is a real adventure. It's exciting. I like it better than made-up stories. I want to know what happens next. Keep reading. I'm going to.
Ah, I want to listen to.
My readers must excuse me if I do not describe in full detail here the terrible images which haunted me that night.
I had a sense that something extraordinary would take place, but I was scarcely prepared for the reality of it.
Good morning, Holmes. Did you get any rest?
I did not attempt to sleep.
Have you managed to come to any conclusions?
I think that we might follow 3 trails. We can visit Whitechapel to try to discover the identity of the murderers by making inquiries at Dispensary 4661 and at the Whitechapel Street Cemetery.
The poison trail seems more important to me. We should perhaps go to Westgate Prison first to see Hans Sheilman.
Yes, and let us not forget the bishop's irascible nephew, whose address we now have, thanks to my Baker Street Irregulars. I have located each place on our map of London.
Holmes, let me remind you that we still have not been officially instructed to investigate this affair.
Ah, well, we will just have to hide that small detail. Whitechapel. Let's go.
Okay. Man. The first investigation was quite short.
Here we are in the heart of Whitechapel. Keep an eye on your wallet, Holmes. This area is the highest for pickpockets in all of the kingdom.
Don't worry about my wallet, Watson. It would be easier to move Big Ben than to steal from me.
or to borrow a shilling from you.
Amusing, Watson. Really very amusing. Can we move on to more serious matters?
I'm listening, Holmes.
There's nothing left at all. I have to close. Oh, what misery.
Sorry to hear about that.
What do you think, Holmes?
Here's the public dispensary that we're looking for.
Now, let's do the cemetery first, 'cause that's my instruction.
Leave me alone.
Nothing of interest here.
Okay. I've explored enough of this street. Trying to look for the cemetery. Yeah, you want me to run, but I don't really feel like running. Because one, it's hard to control. And the other thing is that I might miss something. What's this? Church.
This cemetery is the very image of Whitechapel. Sinister, frightening, and ill-kept. What a terrible place for one's final rest.
At least hunger no longer gnaws at them.
Bana?
Closed. This shovel belongs to the cemetery workers.
Distribution for 19th September. Through the generosity of Prince Woodville, a new distribution of soup is being arranged within the Whitechapel area. This voucher is valid for a meal on 19th September in any distribution area. Kurt, don't forget to pick up the tools at the cemetery and don't be late this time. Grape 8.
A leaflet for the soup kitchen. This leaflet is dated for the day after tomorrow. The tickets for the soup kitchen are given out on the same day. Only somebody who works there could have written on it.
Buy my flowers, my lord, for your dear departed.
I'm starving. Help me, for pity's sake.
Soup chariot. This one?
Oi, oi! We're giving out free soup after Mass, right here. Don't hesitate. Come get yours. All thanks to Prince Woodville's kind generosity. A ticket for a hot bowl of bacon soup.
Excuse me, my good fellow.
You don't look like the needy.
We're not here for the soup, we're merely passing through. But I would like to commend you for your good charity.
It's the Prince of Woodville who's the charitable one. All I'm doing is filling the bowls. For the first time ever in this area, someone's thinking of the poor people here. Look around you. At every street corner, you'll find someone giving out soup just like me. I grew up here, and I can promise you, it's the first time the toffs have thought about us.
And no one tries to take advantage of this?
No, mister, that's not possible. You have to exchange a ticket against a bowl. The tickets have the day's date on them, and are handed out after Mass. That way no one can cheat. A bowl of good bacon soup isn't for you, gentlemen.
We're looking for two people called Grape Ape and Kurtz. Do you know them?
Can't you see I'm giving out soup?
Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye, mister.
Holmes, the man from the soup kitchen isn't only in voluntary service. Look.
A money game.
Holmes.
A money game.
Aren't you gonna leave me alone? Can't you see I'm busy? You again. You can't have any soup, you're too rich. It's for the poor, not the toffs.
And what would you say to relieving two toffs of their wallets by giving them a chance at dice?
With great pleasure. What do you want to bet?
Your ring against my friend's superb silver watch.
Holmes! I inherited this watch from my brother. It has a great sentimental value.
Watson, show your watch to our friend here.
Done. Make yourselves at home. All right, mister. First who gets 36 points wins.
I guess. What happened? Your die shows the skull. All your points for the move are... Oh, that's what happened to him.
Perfect.
Aren't you going to leave me alone? Can't you see I'm busy?
We win.
Hey, not so fast. We'll play again.
Out of the question. You have lost. You owe me your ring.
Oh, it means a lot to me, this ring. Me dad gave it me before he died. He choked on his own glass eye. Me mum didn't get over the shock of it, and she killed herself by smashing her head open with her wooden leg. And she'd only just heard that me sister, who's a prostitute, had caught an embarrassing disease that made all her hair fall out. And worse, our dog got run over when he...
As this ring holds such sentimental value for you, I will allow you to keep it. What would you say to exchanging that against some information about Grape Ape? That seems like a fair deal, don't you think?
Yeah. Grape Ape works with us. He usually deals with the tickets, but we haven't seen him for a few days.
Where is he usually to be found?
Well, last time I saw him, he was with his mates from the dispensary, them that deal with the morgue. Now, that's all I know.
It is quite good enough. Keep your ring, my good man, as a souvenir of your poor father.
A souvenir of me dad, me mum, me sister, and me dog.
One further thing. You said that Grape Ape's friends work at the morgue. Which morgue?
The morgue at the dispensary. I must say, they got a funny job. They wash the dead, dress them, cut their hair. They clean the blood off the floor, chase the rats, stamp on the cockroaches. Mister, I can tell ya, I prefer giving out soup.
There isn't a certain Kurtz amongst the employees.
Listen, we didn't play for info about the whole city. I'm not telling you anything else.
The dispensary has got its own morgue. Interesting.
Well, yeah, I've just told you so. It's the one that all the undertakers prefer. Think about it. It's just next to the cemetery.
Thank you, my good man. Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye, mister.
Okay. Now we can enter the dispensary. Alright.
This stove is hardly working. That would explain
Hey,
the
Phoenix.
damp around here.
Incredible.
It's Sherlock
My colleague
Holmes.
could at least
There is
keep
a
a good
difference.
fire going for his patients.
Closed.
Good day. Please excuse us. Oh, Grant, is it you?
Yes, but wait a moment. Watson, it's been years. Since the Faculty of Medicine, if my memory serves me right.
Yes, we were young and ambitious. I didn't expect to find you here. I thought you had gone to America.
No. I find that I prefer the filth here, amputating gangrenous legs.
Ah.
I'm joking, Watson. Unfortunately, I was unable to leave for Washington. I had to give up surgery. So instead, I crouched down in this rat hole, rubbing shoulders with the world's misery.
Grant, treating those in need is a noble calling. You underestimate the importance of your work.
If you say so. It's true that in the beginning I felt as you do, but as time goes by, the more this cursed area seems like hell. You think that nothing can get worse, and the next day you see that it can. Now famine has hit these poor wretches.
One can't always do as one might prefer when one is a doctor.
Grant, I'd like to introduce you to Sherlock Holmes.
Pleased to meet you. Well, no one comes here by chance, therefore I imagine that you need something in particular. How can I help you?
Dr. Grant, we are in possession of a scalpel which was found in an unusual location. Does it come from your dispensary, as we believe?
From its mark, I'd say it was stolen from us. A lot of things disappear from here, you understand? Life is hard in Whitechapel. When the staff find a way of adding to their salary, they rarely hesitate to do so.
Thank you, Doctor. Tell me, Doctor, do you have a morgue in your dispensary?
Yes, it is the busiest place in the building.
We would like to see it.
The door at the far end, the one with the unpleasant smell.
Very good. Farewell, Doctor.
See you soon, perhaps. And take care of yourself.
All right.
Look, Holmes, a list of the recently dead. How sad.
I see names that have something in common.
List of the recent deaths from the morgue to the cemetery. Sarah Ferguson, 56 years old, died of malnutrition. Oliver Boxall, 14 years old, died of malnutrition. David Levy, 45 years old, died of malnutrition. Sally Petticoat, 17 years old. John Hamilton, 19 years old. Same cause of death, suicide by poisoning. To be buried in the same part of the cemetery. They were going to be married. James Barnaby, 32 years old, killed by 23 knife wounds. Harry Copperfield, 65 years old, died of exhaustion and malnutrition.
I understand now why my colleague keeps quiet about his morgue. This place is a real mess.
Concentrate, Watson. We must look for clues about Grape Ape's friends.
Look at the state of the instruments. They've probably never been cleaned.
A small metal stem. 2 keys.
Well, well. This Kurtz was carrying a lot of things.
This is Kurtz's overall, so he really does work at the morgue. Strange that he left his overall here.
Holmes, this is Kurtz. We've just found one of the Bishop of Knightsbridge's murderers.
Perfect. Perfect. It's open. Here, this hut is on the map. Let us search it from top to bottom, Watson.
Oh, what a jumble.
Impossible to open it.
Note to all employees. Fell the lover's tree to make place for another grave. If the famine doesn't end, we can expect a lot of customers.
How is it that there is no room in this cemetery?
Impossible to open it.
Bags filled with nails. There are a lot of them. Well, really.
I can see a large crack. I'll need something thin. A hole was drilled a short while ago. There is a sack inside this hole. Let us see what is inside it.
Valuable objects. But what are they doing here? Valuable objects. But what are they doing here? Valuable objects.
I wanted to do what you told me to do, but it didn't all fit in, so I've closed the chest and have hidden the rest with Romeo and Juliet, the two newcomers.
We are making headway. How do we know what this means?
This message confirms that we are on the right track.
Let's find the lover's tree, Holmes.
Here is our tree. Let us examine the inscriptions. Sally and John. This design was the last to be done. Sally and John is engraved here as a symbol of their love. Nothing of interest here. Nothing of interest here. Nothing of interest here. Nothing of interest. Yes, it must be there. This shovel belongs to the cemetery workers.
You frighten me, Holmes.
You've been working with Holmes this long, and you're not used to it, Watson?
This must be the grave. Dig quickly, Watson.
Very well, Holmes. Look, a metal box.
The lock on this box is rather sophisticated.
This box comes from a bank. The criminals must have held onto it after a hold-up. There we are. It is simplicity itself.
It is simplicity itself.
This key must be important to be hidden here. A hammer covered in blood.
Holmes, there is someone in that hut.
I saw, Watson. Come, and keep your revolver at the ready, just in case. Open up. We're not the police. Do not be alarmed.
That's a strange way of reassuring someone.
Holmes, they are children. My God, one of them is hurt.
What do you want? Don't come any closer. Are you the police?
Don't be afraid. I am a doctor. I'm going to look at your friend's wound.
Wait, Watson. I've got some questions to ask these children.
This is urgent, Holmes. In this filthy place, the risk of infection is very high, and the wound could get worse with every second lost.
The immediate danger for these children is not so much the wound as Mr. Fletcher.
Who?
Look at the wound, Watson. It's thin and precise. It was made by a sharp, well-kept blade. Any other blade, less well kept, would have torn the tissue around it, and its size would be irregular.
So what does that imply?
In this area, who would take such great care with a blade? A butcher, of course. And the only butcher in the area is Samuel Fletcher, who at this moment is replacing a window that has been forced open. He's a man to hold grudges, as anyone around here will tell you.
The children are in danger.
A man as skillful with a knife as a butcher, and with a bad reputation to match, could easily strike a fatal blow by cutting the child's jugular. If he hasn't done it, it's surely because these little thieves broke into his shop at night to steal a piece of meat. The poor lighting in this area saved them. I can assure you that Mr. Fletcher has spent the day trying to trace these children, and if he finds them, wounds will be the least of their problems.
That's true. What do you want? Don't let the butcher find us.
Dr. Watson will see to your wound, but the treatment won't be free. I don't need to remind you that life is hard, you know that already. Give me the address of a certain Kurtz, and the doctor will dress your wound. No address, no treatment.
I can't tell you, mister. Kurtz is a dangerous madman.
Holmes, you go too far. You have frightened the poor child.
I could give Mr. Fletcher a compensation for the damage to his property, and he would certainly give up trying to find you then. But for that, you'll have to cooperate.
Or else?
Or else he'll likely find a less agreeable way of repairing the damage.
Wait, mister. I know everyone here. I'll help you. Only protect us from the butcher.
I am looking for Kurtz. Tell me where I can find him, and I'll smooth things over with Mr. Fletcher.
Everyone here knows Kurtz. He's the worst person in the area. We call him the Colonel because he fought against the Zulus in Africa. He got chucked out the army because he's completely crackers. He lives at number 8 Betty Street.
Good. Watson, see to the wound. Then we will settle the problem between these young men and Mr. Fletcher.
Okay.
We must protect these children from that butcher, Holmes.
It won't be necessary. I've had dealings with Samuel Fletcher before now. He's not the monster I've made him out to be. If he had wanted to kill them, he would have done so, even in dim light. By wounding the little thief, he wanted to warn him never to set foot in his shop again. Forget Mr. Fletcher, Watson.
You mean you lied to frighten those poor children?
Exactly. Clever, wasn't it?
If you say so.
Well, mister, that's a mighty fine outfit you're wearing there. You stand out like a sore thumb, and that's no lie. Watch that you don't get it all dirtied up, but you'd be welcome to come back to my place. It's not far, and I'd sponge it down for you.
Don't go back to Janny's place. You'll get malaria.
Thank you, madam. I'm certain that you would make a very good job of it. That will not be necessary, however. But your thought was a kind one.
We'd best be leaving now, sir.
Here, please accept this sovereign as a token of my gratitude for your concern.
Well, I never. Thank you. That's right generous of you, my lordship.
You are very welcome, madam.
Madam, he calls me. Bless my garters. What a gent.
If you're ready now, sir.
Yes, let us go.
What a remarkable man, the Prince Woodville, to talk to such a woman as though she was an equal.
Hey, Alley Bird. This is the
Let's
great
find
Sherlock
Batty
Holmes.
Street.
It's the great Sherlock Holmes. So let's need Batty Street. First left, turning out of the cemetery, and first right. Okay. Case attorney for Sherlock Holmes, so that's the official name for now on. They only did that only for the because the Sir Arthur Conan Sir Arthur well, his estate still has a copyright on the Sherlock Holmes name because of the recent movies that had it. These ones were actually done before those movies, and I think The Awakening was actually remade like a few months after that.
Batty Street. Closed.
My God, Holmes, it's appalling. And the smell. But what can have happened here?
Stay calm, Watson. Take note of every detail and be careful not to move anything.
Very well, Holmes. What a horrible wound.
The skin was deeply torn.
This part is in shreds. The skin tissue has decomposed, yet the death is recent.
Let us look at our deduction board, Watson.
The dog. There are numerous bite wounds on the dog's body. Poison that causes madness. Oh, where's the rest of my board? Okay, so I think we're combining stuff.
This part is in shreds. The skin tissue has decomposed, yet the death is recent. What a horrible wound.
The skin was deeply torn. This bandage is a day or two old, no more. Please take note, Watson.
The same finger that we found at the Bishop of Knightsbridge's house. Holmes! What terrible wounds. The dogs must have been rabid.
Only a dog could inflict so deep a wound, but it appears that the wound was gnawed at afterwards.
This part is in shreds. The skin tissue has decomposed, yet the death is recent. What a horrible wound.
Size 9. Hobnail boots like those worn by laborers.
I mean, that's the clue we're looking for.
Size 9. Hobnail boots like those worn by laborers. It is a dog bite. I can see the tooth marks.
Look at that.
Grapes! What are they doing there?
Someone wrapped some meat up in this newspaper. The blood is still fresh. This is yesterday's newspaper. A torn piece of a letter.
Colonel, I have heard that the heads of the Malin Commando do not appreciate your operating methods. Methods that they judge as being too expeditious, even cruel. We are defending our land. Our cause is holy and just. We need combatants who are honorable and motivated, not wealthy, hungry assassins. There is no room here for opportunists like you.
It seems to be a letter of dismissal. A military badge of the 58th Infantry Regiment of Her Majesty, and a letter stipulating Kurtz's exclusion from the unit. He served in 1881.
At that time, the regiment served in South Africa. Kurtz was in the Boer War.
A newspaper covering the war in South Africa. Kurtz must have been following the war with some interest.
The Boer War is abominable, and it still rages.
The dog's bowl is empty. Someone brought food for the dogs, probably just before the fight broke out.
And just after they had been fed, they attacked a man to eat him. Incredible.
Okay, I think the only thing left is the board. Alright. The dogs were fed just before the murder. There are numerous bite wounds on the man's body. Something else. Can't you see I'm busy? Silly goose. Alright. Meantime, we can fill this out. Alright. So, the man ill-treated his dogs and they turned on him. The man's dogs were used to torture him. The man fought savagely against his dog. Okay. It all connects to the poison thing. Dogs were poisoned. Dogs were hungry. The dogs were trained to kill the man. They were poisoned. I'm still missing.
The material on this tray is rather odd. a small burner. Small burnt balls.
A pipe with a strange smell.
There can be no doubt. Judging by the material on the tray and the pipe, the man smoked opium.
Opium? I doubt if this man could have made his drug here. He would have needed a real laboratory.
All right. Pipe. Man smoked opium. Instrument. Okay. There are no available instruments here for preparing opium. All right. Man is missing a finger. So with this, given a pipe that already had opium into it, missing a finger. This would mean that he's
My
one of the
deduction
business.
chart is incomplete, Holmes. We are missing an important detail.
Let's return to the clinic and ask if our friend might lend us his morgue for 2 hours.
What are you going to do?
I'm torn between a nap and a picnic.
Oh, I've had enough, Holmes.
The next step of our investigation, Watson, leads us inevitably to a post-mortem. As you're well aware, in the instance where a body's vital organs no longer function, every minute is vital. Be quick now and procure the room while I arrange the transport.
Very well. I will see you later.
All right. That means we're back in here.
Ah, Grant, you are still here. I need to ask a favor from you.
What sort of favor, my dear friend?
Might I use your morgue for a couple of hours? It concerns an affair of the greatest
Use the morgue? Whatever for? Letting you poke your nose in everywhere is one thing, but closing my eyes to I don't know what unsavory practices.
No, it's nothing like that.
No, it isn't possible, sorry.
Grant, listen to me.
Don't insist. Where do you think you are? Perhaps because you come from the rich area, you think you are entitled to do whatever you like. But here in Whitechapel, it's the real world, you understand? The real world, where we have to take risks. Do you even know what that means? And this shabby health center where I've been stagnating for years, it's a public establishment under my authority, for whatever that's worth. I'm responsible for it. Responsible, do you understand?
Of course I understand, Grant.
Good.
I understand, first and foremost, that you are a coward.
What?
A coward, I said, sitting on your backside behind a desk for years, complaining about your fate without even trying to change a single thing about it.
I won't allow you.
And you dare to talk to me about risks? I, who was wounded in Afghanistan while in Her Majesty's service, and who, for a great many years, has taken part in some of the most dangerous criminal investigations the country has ever known.
But
as for being responsible, as you call it, it begins with doing your job properly, particularly when one is a doctor and caring for the poorest people within our society. The real life? Ha ha! Don't make me laugh. I am a doctor too, Grant, don't forget. And I'm ashamed of my profession when I see the state of this center.
It's not my...
So, your disgusting morgue, you are going to allow me to use it, dear friend, because I urgently need it for a vitally important affair that is way over your head, and whether it pleases you or not. Understood?
If you want to be like that about it, do whatever you like. I wash my hands of the entire thing.
That doesn't surprise me.
This is a dismal place. Have you ever carried out a post-mortem, Holmes? It requires a great deal of precision.
Don't worry, I learn quickly. Hand me a bone saw.
Go carefully, Holmes, even so.
I must clean the body first. I must mark the places to cut. My notches are ready. A ball of paper, swallowed recently.
Geez, Holmes.
I can't do that. This liquid found in the lungs should be able to tell us something.
Okay.
Chemistry material.
And smells as bad as the one in our sitting room at Baker Street.
Chemistry material.
And smells as bad as the one in our sitting room at Baker Street.
This liquid found in the lungs should be able to tell us something.
One and 4. Five, 2, and 2. Two, 1, 4. Two and 2. All right. And just 1.
Poison, and apparently very virulent.
All right. Am I missing something?
We must finish our deduction board, Holmes.
There are traces of opium in Kurt's lungs. And was poisoned by a mixture of opium and okay. And was poisoned by the same poison as bishop. Okay. Okay. His accomplice brought him to this pipe. His accomplice prepared this pipe for him. His accomplice didn't prepare the pipe for him. That's on here. And was poisoned by the same poison as the bishop. The man was poisoned by his dogs. The man was poisoned by his accomplice. The man was murdered by his.
That was a most instructive post-mortem. This man was murdered by his accomplices because of his missing finger.
I see. He was overly conspicuous, walking around with a bandaged hand, as the police would have been looking for a man with a missing finger. But how did they manage to disguise the murder by making it look like a dog attack?
The post-mortem revealed the presence of poison in his system. Everything points to it being a less potent form of the poison we found in the bishop's rooms. This man died as much from the poison as from fighting against those animals. I believe this new version of the substance provokes such a rage that the victim attacks anything in his path, and in this instance it was dogs. We're dealing with sorcerers' apprentices whose creations are ever evolving. They are attempting to obtain a particular effect, and they try out their formulae on human guinea pigs.
You're saying that his accomplices forced him to drink it?
No, he took it himself, voluntarily. The poison wasn't to be found in his blood, but in his lungs. I also discovered numerous traces of opium.
I'm beginning to see. They mixed this horrible poison with his opium, knowing that he would soon smoke it to ease the pain caused by his wound.
Exactly. And such a profound knowledge of both chemistry and toxicology is uncommon. Very well. We know the reason and the manner, but we're really not any further ahead. How will we find the two other men who murdered the bishop? By going to 13 Burner Street. It is in this area.
But where did you get that address, Holmes?
From his stomach.
I see. He wanted to get rid of the address.
No, he wanted revenge.
I don't follow you.
When the man with the missing finger began to feel the effects of the poison, he knew that he was going to die, and he knew that there would be a post-mortem. Shall we go?
He knew there was going to be a post-mortem. So, we need to go right on the street. I think this would be the street to go down. Or am I mistaken? I didn't go far enough. Obviously, that's not far enough.
Nothing of interest here.
Is there not?
We aren't investigating down there, Holmes, are we? Are you sure?
Sorry, the market is closed. There's no more produce.
Maybe I was reading the map wrong. Maybe I was reading the map wrong. Maybe it's down this street. I don't care about that. I don't want to run. Should be going Turner Street, 13.
There's our opium den, Watson. Let's go.
Good day, gentlemen. Welcome. What can I do for you?
One of your regular clients looked within himself to give us your address. He was very helpful.
Oh, I understand. Our clients quickly become
Poor devils. See, Holmes, the ravages caused by such artificial pleasure. Poor devils. See. Very clean here.
Have you chosen somewhere to sit, gentlemen?
Not yet, but we would like to ask you...
Make yourselves at home, gentlemen. Someone will take care of you.
This client is asleep. It would be impossible to make him swallow my mixture.
Holmes, you talked about making a client sick, but you were exaggerating. Surely you aren't going to force someone to drink...
Another of our differences, my friend. You cure people, I make them sick.
What's the matter? Are you ill? Hey, mister! It'll be all right. Breathe!
The Chinese waiter is busy. We can go. This small opening gives onto the guarded room.
Holmes, shh, listen.
Yeah, but that's different. I don't mind getting money for killing, but he was a sort of pope or something. And we didn't even get... Yeah, I know. I got nice rich man's boots. They must be worth about £20. But even so, and the boss ain't happy. And when I see him unhappy, I'm afraid. I don't fancy ending up like Kurtz. Perhaps you're right. But we'll have a chance to make up for it. We just have to get it right this time. Because he won't forgive us so easily next time.
They are the bishop's murderers, Holmes. The fiends.
Calm down, Watson. We'll have to take care of the guard at the entrance. I think we should be able to find something in this place that would put an elephant to sleep.
Very good. But then what?
Then we take care of those two devils. A syringe that could be useful.
Phew! What a stink. This bottle is full of barbiturate acid. We use it in medicine sometimes as a tranquilizer. Holmes, do you really think that this is the appropriate moment?
Don't worry, Watson. My mind only requires stimulation when it is unoccupied. That is not the case at the moment. I am merely heating these opium balls to obtain a liquid solution.
You have a potentially very powerful sedative there, Holmes. Be careful, such a dose could be lethal.
This door shouldn't be open!
Let's hide, Holmes.
This place isn't very favorable for that. I hate the idea, but we will have to rely on luck.
There! It's locked!
We've been locked in!
Holmes, what on earth are you doing?
No! Stop! Put your hands up! Don't try anything clever!
You're under arrest. Take them away.
So be it. Come, Watson. Let us go.
But why have we come back to Baker Street? It would have been better to join Baines to interrogate those criminals.
No. In the hands of the police, those crooks won't talk, and you know it. They risk being hanged.
I don't understand anything here.
We must explore all our leads. Let us take a look at the map of London.
All right.
We have arrived.
The bishop's nephew lives here.
Yes, he rents a ground floor room.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
How do you do, madam? We should like to see one of your lodgers, Henry Hampford.
Well, he's away. And you must understand, I don't open my door to strangers, especially with all these prowlers about.
That is the reason for our visit.
You're the police?
No, Henry is a friend of ours. He expressed his concern to us about these intruders. We're here at his request.
I'm not surprised. Mr. Henry, while he might seem strange at first, is a thoughtful and kind man. He must have noticed how worried I've been. Why, just this morning some of my washing was stolen, and I'm sure it was those ones who took it.
It seems like the best place to start our investigation. May we step into your garden and then perhaps look into our friend's room?
I don't see anything wrong with your looking over the garden, but his room... You understand, he didn't warn me.
I understand.
All right.
What should we do next, Holmes?
Let's have a look in the garden. Closed.
Indeed, there appears to be some linen missing.
Right, and...
Closed.
A rake. Why take it, Holmes?
Tins of food tied to one another. The wire seems long enough. They look to me as though they're rudimentary traps used to indicate the presence of intruders.
Oh, what a jumble.
No. Missing. I'm watching yours so much. I don't care about running. Why do I need to run? Like, you guys are so persistent on me running.
There should be a spade here. A small pickaxe.
All right.
There should be a spade here.
Break the board? Cool shed.
Closed.
Care about running. Like, if you run all the time, you miss something. I don't care to run. The board with the pickaxe. Board? What board?
There's something interesting here.
Okay.
Good, we can pass. The remains of a small meal. Someone has stayed here rather a long time. This newspaper is 4 days old. The bishop's nephew was being watched long before his uncle's murder.
We estimate that nearly half the population of London is threatened by a serious food crisis. At present, the most deprived areas are in a critical situation. The shortage that rages throughout those areas of the capital risks turning into famine if the public authorities do not react.
Nothing of interest here.
What do you think, Holmes?
This clothing is torn. The man who stole it must have caught it on a tree when he stood upon the fence.
And at the moment when he jumped, he left this jacket in the tree.
All right.
Nothing of interest here. To let. It is just as I thought. Here's an ideal view of Henry's room. Is this the washing you were looking for?
Oh, yes, that's it. Where did you find it?
On the ground, doubtless blown there by the wind.
They didn't steal it, then. I'd have felt better knowing that those lurkers were nothing more than clothes thieves.
That is not the case, madam. This affair seems to be rather more serious than that. It appears that these intruders were spying on Henry. Now, please, let us see his room.
Gracious me, whatever next? Come in. Take the first door on the left. It's open. He never locks it.
Never?
No, never. Well, you know him. He doesn't do things like everyone else. He lives in a world of his own.
When did you see him last? Did he say anything to you?
Yesterday morning. He just muttered a few words. I can't always understand what he's saying. When he does talk, that is. I can ask him a question, but he just stares off somewhere. The floor, the ceiling, as if I wasn't there. At first I found it strange, but I've gotten used to it.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. He's sometimes nervous too, isn't he?
Oh, yes. As soon as anything upsets him. Even when he's alone in his room, he gets cross. And then the next second, he is standing stock still. He stares off into space and calms down again as fast as he became angry.
Someone emptied a bag here. This candle is still hot. It's been used recently.
During the day? Whatever for?
There is something interesting here.
Well, something is interesting there, but what?
There is something interesting here.
Yeah, but what?
There is something interesting here. There is something interesting here. There is something interesting here. Box, let's see.
The way to open the box. Okay. All right. Oh.
He scratched the lock's cipher codes for himself. Watson, write them down for us.
It is noted. It is noted. I have noted down everything.
This lock is very complex. The young Henry is remarkably intelligent. Empty. But according to the label, this box contained a Colt Patterson.
It is a powerful weapon, Holmes. And judging by the receipt, it was new. What should we do next, Holmes?
A violin. It is a lovely one, but where's its case?
What do you think, Holmes?
He got his scarf out, but he forgot to take it. This rubbish bin was emptied, and then someone threw a torn piece of paper in it, and judging by the smell, there was also an onion.
Onion?
Let us put these torn pieces of paper on the table.
All right. Puzzle. Like jigsaw puzzle. Yeah, that worked. That one. I need another corner. That is a corner piece. So what is that? Looks like a corner piece, but okay. And are you not a corner? You are that? You are. You are. Well, maybe you are. Because I think you go there. One of those things. Like that goes there. That goes there. Don't. All right. Have these. Goes there. Okay. That does go there. So far, so good. Okay, so far I've got that put together. All right. That looks good. I think that goes here. That goes there. That goes there.
Both sides of the paper are blank. All this for nothing, Holmes.
Perhaps not, Watson. This candle is still hot. It's been used recently.
During the day? Whatever for?
Singing Street Wharf, 132 South Bank. Or three, two, one. 3, 2, 1 South Bank.
The address of a dock on the Thames.
Look at
No hat, no coat. My dear Watson, in the garden and in this room, pieces are missing that should never have left their places. What do you think?
Okay. My dear Watson, in the garden and in this room, pieces are missing should never have left. What do you think?
No hat, no coat. My dear Watson, in the garden and in this room, pieces are missing that should never have left their places. What do you think? That's not right. Start again. That's not right. Start again.
Oh, okay.
That's not right. Start again.
What?
That's not right. Start again. 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 Quick, Watson, there's not a moment to lose. Go and thank that charming lady while I try to recapture our new friend.
Recapture? What makes you think that he has run away?
I believe that our man suffers from behavioral problems. You must have seen or heard about those poor fellows who spend their time counting the gravel stones in the garden or moving objects from one place to another hundreds of times in one day. Well, the bishop's nephew suffers from a moderate form of this condition. Nothing would be more disturbing to him than to leave a personal space in such chaos, and yet this is what he has done with this room. For it to reach such a state of neglect can only indicate that he was in a most desperate situation.
And do you think that you can catch him?
Yes. The candle here is still warm, so he left only a few minutes before our arrival. But it is the missing violin case and the large pistol which concern me. We know that he is quick-tempered and volatile. It is never wise to leave a gun quite capable of killing a bull in the hands of someone like that.
Did he leave to go to the address which was written in the invisible ink, do you think?
Undoubtedly, Watson. And as for the missing spade, I can tell you that it will be used for digging. Are you ever going to stop delaying me with endless questions?
So, gentlemen, have you found anything?
We have learned enough to promise you that they will not return.
That makes me feel better. Thank you, gentlemen.
We are going to pay a visit to that mysterious address, Watson. But first, we must detour to Lambeth.
Lambeth? What are we going to do there?
Pick up an old friend. He will be a precious help in our locating Mr. Hampford.
Good. And who is this friend?
A friend who helped us in the case you so romantically titled The Sign of the Four.
I think, Oh.
Here we are at the address that the nephew took such care to hide.
I wonder what it is that links this place with the bishop's murder.
The reason for the quarrel between the young man and his uncle is somewhere here in this industrial area. And that is what he has come to look for this evening.
It's an enormous area, and there are dozens of potential hiding places. How on earth are we going to find him?
The old dog Toby is the best sleuth hound in town. If the extraordinary Mr. Hampford is here, Toby will find him without any doubt.
But I've rarely seen such an old dog. Do you really trust his sense of smell, Holmes?
Absolutely. Besides, you are going to follow him. Take the bark and go around that disused factory. If the nephew wishes to run away, he can do so only through there. If you find him, hold on to him until I rejoin you.
Very well.
Get ready, Watson. Let the battle commence. Toby's sense of smell is legendary, but he needs to know what he is looking for. Search, Toby. Search. There's a good dog.
Okay. So there is still quite a bit of game left. I'm right here. All right. We are going to end this here. Change the scene and you cry. Ah, boy. Give me a moment. Give OBS time to figure itself out. There we are. There I am. Oh, he wants to say hi. Hello. Cyrano, say hi. Say hi to everyone. All right. I'm halfway through the game. So I think it'll take next stream to finish the game. I think. Because there doesn't seem that much game left, and I'm moving pretty quickly through the game. I don't know if that's going to be the same way with the rest of the game. Hey look, here you are on the screen. Hey look. Alright. Alright, so, let's see here. We might be able to do a raid. Call that unraid. Okay. So, I'm leaning right onto the cat. The cat's in the way. Hi, cat. Hi, Cyrano. Alright, let's raid. Let's raid 0. Let's raid 0. Yeah, her name is Zero. She's still alive. You didn't add her the last time we raided her? Maybe she didn't set her thing up. So there's her link. And we're going to raid her on Sweet. Zero Byte. Alright. So, if you're on YouTube, give Zero a like and a subscribe. If you're on Twitch, give her a follow. And we are out.